My wife and I are new to BDSM and your content. We have been together 20 years and I have always been the dominant partner. But after watching your content, I thought the biggest gift would be to give her my submission. I am now in chastity and I live to serve her. My question is, how do we overcome our old roles? I find myself naturally dominating in certain situations, which puts her back into her soft, submissive state. How do we take away my control and allow her to express her most dominant form? And is it common in a DS dynamic for both parties to be dominant and submissive depending on the situation? I'm better at leading in certain situations, and in others, she is better. She wants me to control finances and some decision making, but when she relies on me, I find she gets more submissive. And I also feel less submissive. How do we get around that since it's such a new dynamic and the old ways are so strong? Okay, great question. Thank you so much for asking this question. I know what you guys are going to say. I know you guys are going to already jump to switch. There's way more going on. There's way more going on here that I have to address than just you guys are switches, operate like switches. There's so much more going on here. Okay? So, yes, I'm going to jump into that. But before I do, I have to go here first. Brian, you said after watching my content, you thought the biggest gift that you could give her would be to give her your submission. And you're now in chastity and you live to serve her. Okay. So nowhere in my content have I ever said that the greatest gift that a man could give his wife or his woman is his submission. I have never said that, and I don't believe that. You will never hear me say that. So, because I actually disagree with that. So you thought it would be a good gift. Why? Was there something going on in your dynamic or your marriage or your relationship where you felt she wasn't getting the honor she deserved? Okay. Can I ask what that is? Because it sounds like you were trying to solve a marriage problem with a DS dynamic that's actually causing you guys to step out of the natural flow of DS, which is really concerning for me. Here's the thing. Dominance and submission is innately in everybody. Okay? I know you guys are typing and continue to type whatever, but I have to say this, okay? Especially because you guys are new. If you feel like you have to become somebody, like if you're like, I have to go against the grain, I have to go against my natural personality to be dominant or to be submissive in my dynamic, you are doing it wrong. Dominance and submission does not exist to change feminine into masculine or masculine into feminine. Dominance and submission does not exist to force you into an erotic role that causes you to completely lose sight of your actual identity. So when you first started dating, Brian was the submissive for many years, and things were better when you guys were dating. Things were happier when you guys were dating. Fill me in on that. And then what happened when he switched into a dominant role? Did you feel like you guys started to disconnect? Was there infidelity? Was there control, narcissism? Was there power dynamics that were being abused when he stepped into the dominant role? Like, give me a full picture of why you both thought that this would be a good idea. There was lots of control. Okay. You became very controlling. So is part of your desire to give her this gift of submission, Brian, almost out of a fear? Like you don't want to become that guy again? I don't want to become that guy again. I want to be a better man to your wife. And the way to be a better man to your wife is to be submissive to her. I highly disagree with that. And I'm saying that specifically for you guys because of the language in your question. I don't think a female-led relationship is gonna fix this for you guys. I think we need to get to the root of here's the thing, a dominant, a healthy, loving dominant, and a controlling person are two different things. So if you were calling yourself dominant, but being toxic and controlling, you weren't being dominant. And that's the language that I want to speak to here. And that's why I'm saying I'm not seeing this as a switch situation. I'm seeing this as maybe we're using DS language and BDSM terms to try to problem solve a marriage issue. And if we do so, if we lean here, I think we're going to actually exacerbate issues. We're not going to heal them. We were never in a real dynamic before. Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It was I'm just the man, I'm just the leader, I'm just the dominant here. And then all of this toxic control came out, right? It's not an issue of domination. And you always fought for control. So let me pivot here. Jasmine, like a pissing contest. When you say you want him to control the finances and some decision making, where in your mind is like the line of where you want his leadership to stop? Like where is that for you, Jasmine? When you're like, I love the rest when he leads in these areas, but when he leads in these areas, I don't like it and we start fighting. Can you give me any insight? And again, remember, you guys, I said there's a lot to unpack here. So we're going to try to tackle it today, but if we don't get all through it, this would be great for group coaching. I like it when he leads in the bedroom. Okay. But do you want more of a partnership where your voice is honored in the rest of the marriage? Okay. You want your voice to be heard and honored and an equal role in decision making. Let me ask you, do you want to be the sole decision maker? Do you want to just make the decisions and him just shut the fuck up and go along with it? You see how layered this is? This is layered, this is layered, this is layered. Like an onion, we peeling back layers. Here's the thing. This is, again, why I kind of lean toward, I don't really advise, proactively advise polyamory for this reason. It's like most people can't even do a monogamous vanilla relationship well. And then we add in kink, we add in power dynamics, we add in other partners. You're setting yourself up for failure. It's not me trying to be a prude. It's me trying to actually protect you from failure and loss and devastation. Y'all can't handle one partner in a vanilla dynamic with no power dynamics. Really? Are we really thinking it's wise to take on more? No. Okay. You like the sound of it, but when it's happening, I feel like I can't make good decisions. Okay. So then I would say that right there, that self-trust really needs to be tackled if there's going to be any legitimate female-led dynamic. Any female-led dynamic is absolutely going to disintegrate if you are operating with that. I want to be assertive. I want to call the shots. But I don't. I question myself. I second guess myself. I doubt myself. I'm unsure. I'm insecure. Confidence is the biggest factor. That's going to take time and repetition. But the thing is, time and consistency and repetition in the wrong thing is going to program the wrong outcome. That's why I'm being very, very careful here to dig into this so deeply, because I don't want to advise you to move into a direction that's actually going to get you guys further disconnected than where you're at. And so what I'm seeing here, yes, we got some switchy things happening, but I also think we're trying to solve toxic things with BDSM. There can be some overlap. There can be some healing. Absolutely. But just like I say, sex problems typically aren't sex problems. their relationship problems that we bring into the bedroom and they just start manifesting in sex, same kind of thing. So we got to get the foundation really well set and established here. So here's the thing for you, Jasmine and Brian, would you be willing to discuss this with me in group coaching this month? Because then you could both be on mic. We can really just engage in real time instead of in this format. Okay. So we're going to dig into that. We're going to dig into all of this in group coaching later on this month. But for our purposes tonight, what I would just advise right now with just this amount of data is it sounds to me like there's been some wounds, there's been some hurt. It sounds like maybe Jasmine, you struggle with your confidence because due to some of the previous toxicity and control, your voice was taken away from you. You were made to feel like your voice was not important, your voice did not matter, your perspective didn't matter. Okay. So as far as healing that wound, I think that needs to come first. And that does not have to be done from a submissive partner. That can be done from just a vanilla partner. That can be done from a submissive partner. That can be done from a dominant partner. You've both been there. Okay, totally, right? You spend enough time with someone in a relationship, you're going to hurt each other, okay? There is no love without risk of pain. Absolutely. Yeah, so there's a lot of history here. It's been rocky. So I would say this. That wound, Brian, needs to be solved first. And I think it would actually have more of an impact, Jasmine hearing that she has a voice, hearing how brilliant her voice is. I think it would actually have more of an impact coming from a strong dominant than a fawning submissive.